right, so welcome to what will be episode 2 of the podcast presented by Trynyty. For anyone who's bilingual, hopefully you listened to the first episode featuring Kevin DeMay and Lloyd Bureau. This episode will actually have a video and audio version. My name is Cody Lacroix, one of the 2 riders, along with Lloyd Bureau, who founded Trynyty. And I have with me today Mr. Deputy Bull, a.k.a. Ethan Kirk, a.k.a. Kirkus, from Newmarket, Ontario, and the one and only Lachlan Gauchier from Calgary.
What's going on?
Hello.
How's it going, boys?
I'm glad to be here. Good.
I'm hyped to have you. And like, for anyone who doesn't know, what brings you guys to Montreal right now? What are we doing here?
Well, came down about 2 weeks ago for the Trynyty Pro Invitational. Luckily got Lachlan out here as well. And then right now we're just filming and kind of taking in the city.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you invited me, so when I saw that, I had to book the flight, but I kind of booked it late. But I still made it out, right?
Yeah, you made it out, and you actually killed it. You guys both killed it, actually. The jam was dope.
I hit up Kirk, and he said he'd stay for the 2 weeks, so we're out here filming. We're going to make a video.
Yeah, that video is going to be dope. So the boys have been here. They rode in the jam. Jam was wild. It's been about a week and a half since, and they've been out stacking every day that it hasn't rained. It's rained quite a bit in Montreal, but when they could get out, they've been getting out and killing it. And you're actually headed to Paris, right, on Thursday?
Oui, monsieur.
So you've been working on your French while you've been here in Montreal, the Calgarian.
Not exactly. No. I've been trying. It's hard.
And what's the weirdest thing about French so far, you think?
The phlegm.
The phlegm?
Mm-hmm.
So,
you know what I mean when I say that?
I actually do know what you mean. So I'm like,
I can't sound the same. I have no accent.
I mean, I'm from Ontario, and when I moved to Montreal, I had to learn how to speak their French, because in Ontario, like a beer would be in bière, with like you roll the R, kind of like Spanish. But then here, it's in bière. And it's like
exactly.
That. I do. So I know exactly what you're saying. And Ethan, how many times have you been in Montreal now?
I think it's close to like 15 or something. Like I've come quite often.
You've been quite a few times.
Like,
you need to get down here more often, my man.
That's ridiculous. It's kind of far though. It's kind of far. But I'm definitely coming back after this. Me and Kirk. We're making it annual. I swear.
I'm down, man. I'm glad you made it down. I'm glad you're having fun.
Dude, you let me stay at your house, so it's like the best scenario I could have asked for.
There's no stress, dude.
Free vacancy. Shout out to Cody.
Free vacancy.
I couldn't repay him enough, honestly.
I'm just glad you made it out, dude. The jam was one heck of a time. If you guys had to pick like one best moment, one best thing about the jam, what would that have been?
Okay, I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, go.
Jacob Piercy winning.
Well, that was pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't cry, but I definitely.
Dude, I cried.
I know you did. I'm not trying to flex that I didn't cry, but man, it was pretty cool, because it's not your normal scooter contest where the goal is like, all right, we're gonna do this run. It's gonna be 45 seconds. I have to do all of these tricks with as many flips as possible.
It was more like street jam type beat.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like we had a permit, so everyone was
facts. The permit was good.
Yeah, it was
permit
good.
Was proper.
Shout out to the permit.
Cheers
to
that.
It was dope. Yeah, it was cool to see. Like we had the guys from France, we had Lachlan from Calgary, all the boys from Ontario, the locals from Montreal throwing down. It's quite an experience, and I think my throat is still sore from screaming like a little girl at the end there.
Bro, it was fun. I'll tell you that.
What about you, Lachlan? What was your favorite part?
Favorite part's just seeing everyone. It's like a big old family reunion to see everyone in a big old group.
Yeah.
Just hanging out, familiar faces, everyone saying what's up, and then becomes like a party, like for the whole week.
It literally does become a party for the whole weekend. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta agree, dude. It's crazy because here in Montreal, I mean, there's a lot of dudes who ride, but often we wind up going to the park and we're like 3 or 4, and that's a big gang.
Mm-hmm.
And
it seems like everyone's coming out to ride.
Yeah.
Whenever we go, whenever
cool.
it's like during the jam, like whenever we go to a park, there's like 10 to 15 like scooter kids.
Well, I know it might not seem like too big a deal to you guys, but like for a lot of the dudes around here, when they hear like Lachlan and Ethan are here and they're riding, it motivates them that much more to
Which
like,
is
oh,
super
man.
weird for me to think. Because whenever we're at the park, I'm always like, yo, there's so many lokes. What do you guys mean no one rides? And then, I don't know, they're always like apparently like stoked to come ride, chill with us. So it kind of works out. I think it's weird though, because when they always talk about how there's like no one's riding, and then when like a jam comes around, everyone's like out and they're motivated. So it helps out.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Everyone gets
I think
stoked.
it's the same everywhere though, because like if someone comes to like Toronto or Ontario, like
Facts.
everyone's trying to get out for the most part. Like most of the time I have to tour guide, or someone in our group will have to tour guide, but that just brings everyone out. Like, everyone's like, yeah, okay, I'm booking off work. Let's go downtown.
Let's go downtown. Yeah.
So-and-so's here.
But,
I mean,
calling in sick.
I love it. It was awesome to see it. Like so the jam was Saturday night, and then Sunday after the hangover passed, or mostly passed. we're still dealing with that right now. But so once most of that was gone, we headed to one of the parks that they put in last year, Rosemont or Parc Marquette, and it was cool because usually, like I say, we're like 4 or 5 max, but that day we were like 15 riders maybe.
Oh, buddy, everyone was there.
Everyone was there, so it was
Cleared
sweet
up
to
the
have
park.
shout out to the skaters who dipped, but. I mean, we were 15 and we were holding strong, and it's awesome to see like that level of riding across that many people in the same place, because hopefully it's going to happen more and more. Like a couple of the dudes I work with over at Taz Skate Park, it's the biggest indoor skate park in Canada. They're saying like, man, all the skaters are talking about how many more scooter riders there are now, but you know, they're actually shredding more and more. And
Yeah, everyone is like getting older and they're starting to like, I don't know, mature and do like cooler shit. So,
slowly.
Yeah, slowly but surely. So
Yeah,
which is always sick to see like more older guys in the scene.
Yeah, I definitely think it helps. And like what's cool, like you're saying, like when you have events and jams and stuff like that, it brings everybody out. So I think it's like super important to try to keep stuff like that going, because it's motivational things like that.
Yeah.
Like if there's one Trynyty jam every year, that gives everybody at least one thing to look forward to every year. That's one excuse to go ride your scooter every day, because like at some point I'm going to go to that jam. So I think it's super important
And
to
then
try
it
to
gets
keep those things
everyone
going.
to just throw down at the same time, you know? Everyone's trying shit they like would not think of doing any other day, but then when they're around so many people, like,
Man, the level of
Running
riding
it.
at the jam this year was
stupid.
unbelievable.
Like, the first two, amazing. And like, we would try to put it into words, and like, I don't think everyone understood how crazy they are. Like, I think this year is the year that like people are gonna be like, whoa, what the fuck was the Trynyty jam, dude? Like,
yeah, facts. I hope
like
more
the
people
amount
coming
of
next year. too.
bangers that went down that day. Like,
Oh, it was
dude,
silly.
I hope word of mouth spreads, because like,
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
this could be like the annual contest where like it's like a family reunion type deal.
Bro,
Yeah,
it could
it
probably
definitely is.
become big. It's
The
like,
winter street jam, pretty much.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Honestly.
it's in Montreal. It's like the biggest indoor park I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, the word gets out this jam, more people come next one, it just grows to like this crazy, I can see it growing to like a giant annual scooter thing.
I mean,
where
that's
people are flying
definitely-
from everywhere.
This is definitely the goal. When me and Lloyd started Trynyty, like a bunch of the things we were like wanting to do is like innovation. Like there's 3 Y's in Trynyty. It's like innovation, sustainability of the sport, and you know, giving back to the community as well. And I think events like this, the goal was to like take the bar and then raise it, but also kind of bring everybody together. So like the culmination of how high the level got this year, plus seeing the homie Jake win, it was a lot to take in. It was a lot to handle, but it was really cool.
Dude, going back to that, I went up to Jake after the comp. I was like, we always say we're washed up, but look who just took first place. Like, dude, that was like the icing on the cake for the whole weekend. And
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been happy if anyone won, but just because it's Jake and that's my brother. Like,
And to be
that's
fair,
just
there
like,
was
he threw down.
about 9 dudes, and we picked top 5. For anyone who doesn't know, we picked top 5, and they won cash. And there's also best trick. But we had 9 names on the list that we had to narrow it down to, and it was
It would be too tricky.
it was really hard. And
Like,
I
too
think
many people.
moving forward, we might try to narrow down the list of invited riders, because
Yeah.
generally it's about 25.
Right.
But then this year, when everyone all of a sudden wanted to come, like you were coming down, so it's 3 on the list. And then Auguste and Nick Tedrick from Ethic, you know, they're coming from San Diego and
Mhm.
France, super last minute, couldn't say no. So obviously, you know, through the name,
Exactly.
and the next thing you know, I've allowed
Like
like
a
almost 10
giant
more
list,
people by
yeah.
accident, not by accident, but you know, we wound up with a few more people than we were supposed to. So we had Marcus and Kevin and, you know, Lloyd judging, and they had a rough go with it, because there was so
yeah.
much going on at once.
Imagine saying no to August.
That's what I mean.
Dude, I
what
can't
I
wait
mean.
till the video comes out. I don't know if it'll be out before or after this goes up, but like, man, people will know what we're talking about once that video comes out.
Exactly.
This dude
When you
is
see the riding.
insane.
Yeah, it's
Bro,
gonna be
August will
hammers.
do everything you want to do first try and then not sweat about it, which is kind of, it's annoying, but shout out to August for being able to do everything first try.
he was the king of street at the Nitro World Games this
Yeah,
year.
exactly. You can't complain.
He destroyed it. Man, at one point he did a rail ride on this it's like, you could say it's a rail, but it's not really like meant to be a feature in the park.
It's
It's there
not
to
a
stop.
feature.
It's there to stop
there to
people.
save- barrier.
It's
a
there
barrier.
to save
It's a
you
barrier.
from falling off the edge, right?
Because the edge is death, and
The
not
edge
only
is
is it
death
on the
by
edge,
itself.
it's, you know, like what, like a couple feet
It's
higher, right?
Yeah, it's a story drop on one side, and this dude hops up tires. Sorry to spoil it for everyone. My jaw was on the floor.
Yeah, I know. It's
the craziest
jaw was on
trick
the
I've
floor the
seen.
whole
I don't
time.
know.
It was
Yeah.
maybe the only like 5 seconds of the entire jam that I wasn't saying anything because I was just holding my breath like, don't you fall off the
You're
side of
right,
that
dude.
thing, dude.
Everyone's
Don't you
like-
fall off the side of that thing.
Like waiting for him to just land, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Oh, man, there's
when
a
I got
few
to the
moments that are
park, I would
sketch.
it was one of those things where you look at it and I'm like, yo, Ethan, could you imagine if someone jumped on this and rode it? And he's like, dude.
Nah, dude.
I'm saying triple whip on.
Yeah, no, it's like one of those things you joke about.
540 to flat.
Yeah, next thing you know, his homie's hopping on it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Good for him. Also, shout outs to his video. That thing was crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
anyone who hasn't seen August Ethic DTC video, definitely go watch it. That man is an absolute killer.
There's rails that you wouldn't really think of, like, ever.
Yeah,
Touching.
man. I made the joke at World Games. If you brought him to an amusement park, he'd probably try to grind the roller coaster. And
Yeah,
I
facts,
genuinely
facts.
believe that. Like, loop and all that, man would just straight send it.
I can see it.
No wax either.
No wax.
wax.
No wax.
Man
straight
doesn't
send.
like wax. Man doesn't like wax.
Wobble through it, then he'd just cleanly land at first tee.
Yeah.
That could be the
man.
key. That could be the key.
Just straight send.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've done the rounds pretty much for the jam, and hopefully I would think that this podcast will probably come out after the jam video has been posted. And you guys are working on a video right now, and it's just you two in the video? There's
Grunge MTL plus Montreal friends.
I thought we were calling it the Red Bull Ambassador Program.
And there's names in the work.
It's
There's
a
names in the
working
work.
title. It's a working title.
But
But
Grunge MTL will do for,
Yeah.
us. We both know what we mean. It's grungy out here. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, in the video, it's mainly us two, I'd say.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some Montreal homies in there as well. How can we not put them in? You know,
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
all been coming out to ride with us, so
Tour guides.
yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
tour guides. Even though me and Lachlan sometimes know the city better
Yeah,
than
no,
them.
that's what I'm saying. We'll go downtown and we're like, yo, the spot's over here. They're like, there's one up here. And no. I swear.
it's
right
over, it's
here.
over here. We were here yesterday, boys.
No, but yeah.
Yeah.
It should be
Shout
me and
out.
Lachlan, and then a few Montreal homies. I think I don't want to give any names right now because I don't know who's gonna
Still
get
not
clips
done.
before we leave.
Still not
but
done.
In the
So-
works, yeah.
you know, we got Mick Beer in there.
Shout out to Mike.
We got,
That's Michael Roussel for anyone who doesn't
yeah.
know, but we all call him Mike Beer. Shout out
Mhm.
the homie. He
Hopefully-
probably won't
Michael
listen to this
Russell.
podcast actually because his English is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Not A1,
He'll get
but-
like 5 minutes in and be like, I don't know what they're talking about.
We'll send him the clip. We'll
You
send
know,
him the
Google
clip.
Translate open and just give up after 20 seconds.
It's like, this doesn't make
Yeah.
any fucking sense.
Hopefully,
Oh, man.
Mick Beer, Joran. Hopefully some Benji clips if we get some today.
Yep.
We're going to meet up with them after.
Yep.
And just any of the homies that come out, hopefully. I mean, you might as well show Montreal for the people that are from Montreal, right?
Yo, and
So-
we got a couple Jordan Stanley clips.
Oh,
And
yeah,
at
yeah.
And Clip
P50Q.
too,
I
right?
forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Josh Tapscott, Click Commander, whichever
Shout
you
out
want
to-
to call him.
shout out to Click.
Jordan Stanley. We got some P45 clips.
P50Q.
If anyone doesn't know, is the sickest DIY ever.
Behind
It's-
Tascade Park.
yeah,
So there's a
Literally.
facility that's the indoor skate park, and they put a DIY behind it just for those sunny days, right?
So
So-
next year, anyone planning to come to the Trinity Jam, there's outside space to ride too.
There is,
so
yeah.
it
Yeah.
is the spot to have this contest.
Bro, that's where the party goes down. Is that P50?
It was quite the party, man. And I mean, I've never openly had like a microphone in one hand and like a bevy in the other.
Yeah.
But with the
Bevy.
with the permit, we were
Beved
golden
up.
A1.
It was good, yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was quite the experience, man.
Yo, shout out to Jacob Piercy for picking me up from the airport as well.
Oh, yeah.
like, you guys are all shouting him out, but he's the man.
But I think one of
Pulls
the
up, picks me up, fucking gives me a beer. Next thing you know, I'm fucking halfway there.
I think one of the funniest things about this weekend is trying to watch like 30 pro scooter riders coordinate who's sleeping where
Right.
and what's going down and
Fact.
the amount of stuff that's like, oh, don't worry, we'll figure it out after this. Oh, we'll figure that out
No,
later. The amount of-
everything's like, yo, we'll figure it out later. And then later comes and we're like still trying to figure it out later.
Thank God I have the VIP membership to the Cody hostel, but otherwise I'd be on some floor. But I mean, thank
Well-
God everyone got seated somewhere.
Yeah, man. What? Kirk can attest to this. There's been a few times where we do a jam or an event or something, and then my apartment, which is not very big, it's not much bigger than this studio space we're in right now, and we'll have like 5 to 6. One time we had 8 dudes plus me and my roommate in our 4.5. So where you guys are sleeping
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, imagine having 6 extra dudes. And
Bro.
shout out to Jai Walker from Australia. He ended up staying with another one of the riders from Cali. an extra night in my place because he forgot to book a hotel room. Classic, what we were just talking about,
Yeah,
scooter riders
facts.
leaving stuff to last minute.
Facts.
So
It'll figure itself
we
out.
That's
we
some
went
dry
from
shit.
we went
That's
from
some dry
6,
shit.
dude. We went from 6, which was pushing the limit, to
Like
8,
8,
one
yeah.
time right away. So this year I was like, all right, Ethan, I'll tell you what, you've got a spot. We're gonna bring in a few other boys, but I am not housing 8 dudes. I can't do it anymore,
Yeah, no,
man.
I was kind of like scared to hit you up about like staying for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I was kind of like pushing it, but I thought I might as well run it.
Yeah, thanks for doing that though, because I'm not trying to sleep nuts to butts with a few minutes.
Fuck that.
You're over that now.
Bro,
over that.
You're
North
over-
Heat Wave Tour shit. Nuts to buzz.
Dude,
always.
let's go over that real quick. So last summer, right? That was the first time we actually met, was at Taz, sure enough. And it was quick,
real.
it was short and sweet, but
Went to Montreal for a day and left. That's the only time I've been
and
here.
this heat wave tour, how long was it? So anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, the North Scooters team did a tour last summer. Kirkus and Cam from now Cam from Trynyty ended up going on at Lachlan, and the rest of the North homies were there, but started in Montreal. So you guys
It started.
okay, so let's get this
It
start. Let's get this start.
It started at like my house, where it was like the weirdest experience, I'll be honest, because 4 people, Max Skippy, Jackson Brower, and then Kyle and Liam from Kelowna pulled up on airplanes to Calgary, and then that day we were supposed to leave and start driving across the country. So it started in Calgary, and no one's met each other, so we're sitting at my house awkwardly, just like chilling, like waiting for Ethan to pull up to Calgary so we can leave, and he eventually pulled up, but it was like late, so we sat around my house all day, and it was just like no one knew each other. It's pretty weird. But then we drove across the country all the way to Montreal, and it was a 2-month trip of just straight up
driving,
like me living in a van, everyone packing tents.
Yeah.
These guys
not
forgetting.
packing tents.
These
Yeah,
guys
we gotta
not
go over
packing tents, forgetting poles.
Yeah,
We
see,
picked up Kirk and
You guys went to Montreal.
and then we came back to Toronto and picked up Kirk and McRobbie, and then that's kind of where the trip, I'd say, started.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I've personally have also done the Cross Canada trip.
Mhm.
It's quite the trek,
Bro,
so to have done it in a van
it's a boring trek, I'll be honest. Like,
from Calgary to
Yeah.
Montreal, there's not a lot in between.
no,
Yeah.
there's nothing until you hit Ontario, and then you get some bush, but that's it. It's nothing fancy, I'll be honest.
So you guys started at your house. Awkward introductions,
Yeah.
bit of awkward silence, broke the ice.
Yeah, broke the ice.
Whipped across the entire country, which is not a small country, mind you.
It took like 3 to 4 days.
Pulled up to
get
Lataz.
Montreal.
Oh yeah, that makes
And
sense.
slept in the Lataz parking lot. So my whole Montreal experience.
P45 parking lot.
P45 parking
Let's
lot.
switch that up.
Yeah.
It's different.
I think a few of you guys showered at Taz too.
We
no?
did, yeah. I remember you hooked us up with showers because we
Yeah.
were like, dude, we haven't showered in days.
Yeah, I was like,
You're
well,
dude, we got showers in the back. And
Yeah,
we're like,
you could
as
either-
if they have showers here.
yeah. So you can whip to my place, or there's actually showers here. There's like 2 or
Yeah.
3 of them, I think, in there. So
Which was
that worked out pretty well. So you whipped across the entire country, made it to Montreal,
That's right.
chilled at Taz for a little bit,
And then backtrack to Toronto.
backtracked to
Back to
Toronto
Toronto.
to pick up these Kirkus
delinquents.
Yeah.
and Cam.
And
Yeah.
pulling up to their houses were real nice because,
Went from bush to luxury.
yeah, went
real
from
quick.
went
One
from
time,
rags
yeah.
to riches real quick.
Stayed at my house one night, my parents' house. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shout out to my
Oh yeah, your parents' house the entire. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they slept
They
in the
hooked it up.
basement.
Shout out to the Kirk fan, man.
Yeah.
They
facts.
swam
Dude,
at
that-
the pool,
Yeah.
and then the next
Yep.
night they stayed at McRobbie's.
We had to get
it
both.
kind of worked
We
out.
had to get the both experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which was better?
Oh,
Ooh, dude, you don't have to answer that. Their parents might listen to
I'll be-
this. So.
I mean, McRobbie's house was.
It's bigger.
It is a little bigger, but
It's a little
I
bigger.
did like
They got a
Kirk's
big
house because it
family.
was cozier. You know what I mean? I'm
And I have
not
cats.
used to that like
I-
castle type shit. So.
Shout out to the cats.
And yeah, Kirk had 2 fucking sweet cats. The one was named Jaeger, which I always thought was cool.
That's an awesome name for a cat.
My mom came up with it.
Damn.
What a
Yeah.
name.
I would have
give her
guessed that
credit.
you snuck it in there. You know,
No.
like that Jägermeister cat. Maybe it's like a little bit of orange on him and stuff. Like
I just got a text
No.
one day and they're like, "Meet Jaeger." I was like, "Okay, did you come up with that name?" And yeah, they did.
oh,
So
that's awesome. So
It's a
you
good
did the
name.
2 night at Kirk's, night at Cam's, and then y'all hit the road and you just didn't stop for 2 whole months.
Straight into Detroit, actually.
Oh yeah.
Like scary Detroit.
And I got everyone lost.
Sketchy Detroit.
Yeah, he took us the long way.
took
So
Go
why
to
was
the
the
border.
why was the Canadian from Newmarket navigating in Detroit?
No, I wasn't
no, no,
navigating
it was to
Detroit.
get to
I was
the border.
navigating to the border.
Ah.
But then, right when we were about to get on the ETR, Sneeze like, yeah, we're not paying tolls. So I was like, all right, well, let's loop back to Orangeville, go back around. It should have been like a 3-hour drive, and it turned into like 5 hours. Like that was totally my fault.
Which is okay.
Classic.
I don't think
I just kept quiet.
I think the only person who realized was Jackson, who was driving.
Yeah.
Was like, this can't be the actual way. But other than that, everyone was kind of just doing their own shit.
We literally trekked out and then back to Newmarket. Like Orangeville and Newmarket are parallel.
Yeah, they're side by side.
Wasted an hour of our time. But
what can you do? We made it.
yeah,
So
went to Detroit, and then we stayed a night in Kalamazoo at a rest stop.
yeah, the rest.
We tented everywhere, but when we got to Kalamazoo, we pull up. I have a text. McRobbie said he was gonna bring us tents. All right.
You've got the proof.
I was like, yo, you got. He's like, do you need a tent? I was like, I don't think so. You'll probably find one. He's like, I have extra. I'm like, okay, cool. Pull up to the first night. No tent. Well, there's
No
tents.
poles.
There's tents. No poles.
Oh no.
He forgets the poles. So now there's 2 more Lokes without tents.
So that's where I
You know
found my
I didn't bring
sleeping
one.
quarters for the
Oh, wait,
rest of the tour.
So your and Cam's tent didn't have
Oh,
poles,
No,
or just
they
your,
both
just,
both
didn't
ours.
have.
Oh,
tents.
no, okay. So I thought just your tent
No,
didn't
no,
have
no.
poles, and that's how you ended up sleeping in the van.
No, me and McRobbie and Lachlan all slept in the van that night.
Cabbage in the
and
van.
then, and then at that point, I was like, when I saw how long the procedure takes to set up tents after you're tired and everything,
It
like,
was almost a blessing.
I was like, you
It's
know
a
what?
mission.
This is my new spot.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
and Lachlan slept
Yeah,
in the
you
van the whole tour.
You definitely want the van. Trust me. If
And
you're
did-
going on trips,
Does it not
van.
get cold in the van at night? Like, I don't know.
No,
I
bro,
guess it
you-
was the heat wave tour
it
during
was
the
the
summer.
heat
but-
wave
hot.
tour, bro. It was
It was
fucking
hot, if
cooking.
anything.
You wanted it to be cold, but
It was the rank tank.
You-
It was not
yeah.
nice.
Oh my god.
Wait, what was that term?
The rank tank.
The rank tank.
Oh, it's so musty. You
I've heard
cannot-
dank tank. Rank is
How
even
many-
worse.
There was like 10 people in that van at one point. When at the peak from Chicago to Denver with like
Yeah.
everybody in there, I think there was like 10 or 12.
We
So
should
you
probably
guys-
outline where we went first.
Yeah,
we
so
couldn't keep just loopholing. So we went Detroit, Chicago, went for the jam
Right.
where I boofed my ankle.
Yeah.
Boofed your ankle
Fact.
one time, yeah.
I got a little ahead of the jump.
That's
decided
where
to jump
Andrew,
off the first
the
spot.
jam where Andrew Morgan.
Yeah, the
smacked
same
his teeth.
spot.
Shout out to Andrew Morgan at midnight.
Dude,
Mhm.
yeah,
Killing the game.
that dude hucks his meat.
Yeah.
And then so Chicago jam.
Then we went to St. Louis,
Then we went to St. Louis.
where Badger's clout got us into the
Skate
church.
Laborious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the what?
Skate Laborious.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the
skate
it
church,
was in
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Volcom videos and stuff, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
pulled up, and I
So
was just
sick.
looking for parks, and then I saw it come up on my phone. I was like, wait, I think I've seen this church before, and the Badger's like, yo, like this is this man, and then
Mhm.
we just messaged the guy, and they let us in, so like it was
That's pretty
definitely
cool.
worthwhile to go through St. Louis because
Facts.
I don't think any other scooter riders have been there.
Yeah, no,
Probably
St.
not,
Louis
no.
was the
No.
shit for real. It was definitely way smaller than you'd think, but
Dude, it was sick.
I mean,
I've,
No, it was
seen
tight.
I've seen some photos come out of that, and they were actually really, really cool. Like the
Yeah.
ones Cam shot of Ethan.
Dude.
And
oh, bro.
Shout out
They're
to
saying-
McRobbie's photography as
Yeah,
well.
he
yeah,
kills it.
Cam kills it, man. Shout out to Cam. For anyone who doesn't know, we actually put Cam on the Ride Trinity team right before the jam.
Yeah, that was tight too. You guys released his grip tape right then and there with
Well,
all
that's,
the boys.
that's just his like
Yeah.
surprise
We're
grip
gonna
tape,
let him do
but
that.
still, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So like Ethan designs most of the grip tapes that we end up selling, but anyone who's got a SIG grip, so right now Jordan, Ethan, and Benji's got one coming too. They actually get to decide whatever they want on their grip, and Cam will get the same thing. But the plan was for a while we've been checking with Cam, and he lives with Ethan, and he's one of the homies, so it was time to bring him on board. And Ethan thought of the cool idea to like, we'll make a grip tape and then we'll surprise him with it, and it'll literally say welcome to the team on it. So we had to sneak that in on him, and it was a bit of a mish with the chaos of the weekend, because the jam is literally the most chaotic, stressful weekend of the year, but it's also the most fun weekend of the year, at least for me anyway. So it was cool to sneak that in like just before and surprise Cam.
Dude, it was so hard to hide that from him. I remember being at the bar by our school one night, and I'm talking to a few friends from my program, and McRobbie went to the bathroom, and my friend who knows I scooter, he was like, so when's Cam getting on Trinity? I was like, dude, like in 2 weeks, man. Like, it's eating me alive.
So even your friends at school know like that you guys scooter, and they know what Trinity is?
Oh yeah, dude.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's out there, so it's cool. I mean, everyone at my school is pretty like open to anything. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Oh,
great that like
the arts.
yeah, obviously. But like
Those art
to have
students.
homies that support something that's not in their lane is cool. So I mean, yeah. But also shout out to McRobbie. I'm happy you're on the team, bud. I love you.
Yeah, me too. I'm really stoked to have Cam on the team, and the way we did it was pretty cool. I mean, it's cool to do an Instagram post like "Welcome to the team," but like to give him that experience, you know.
I think there needs to be more of those in scootering for
100%,
sure.
yeah,
100%.
yeah, definitely, 100%.
Dude, watching like YouTube videos of skaters getting their pro boards
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff,
just so
like,
sick.
It's so tight.
it's a
yeah.
milestone.
They do it way
dude,
better,
like,
bro.
but, like,
It's way more. It seems
Yeah,
like way
I-
more official. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why we wanted to have his
ours was
name
so
on something, you know.
stressful, though. Like it was
It's
hard
so last
to pack
minute.
that in there, dude. Like,
Yeah, well, like I said, the weekend is so tight, jam packed. On top of running the jam, I'm like working in the shop too. All the boys are pulling up. No one knows where they're sleeping. It's absolute chaos. So,
yeah.
given the circumstances, I feel like
Dude, it was
we
good.
pulled it off.
Everyone was in the shop. Like all the main homies were in the shop. So I think like just having everyone around him in like that moment, he was so confused when he came in, dude.
I did miss
so
it.
Sick. You missed it?
I missed the.
I thought you
whole
were there.
ride.
Oh,
I walked in after you guys.
Oh, I
yeah,
thought you
yeah.
were there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
the video will be out probably before this,
for sure. Yeah,
so you guys will know what we're talking about.
yeah. It was a cool little like welcome to the team and great way to kick off the weekend before the jam got started. So shout out to Cam, but we'll loop back to the
tour,
the
dude.
heat
We
wave
shout
tour.
out
So
to Cam for his photo.
so Badgers
St. Louis.
so Badgers clout got you into
Yeah,
this
basically.
church.
We think so.
And when you say his clout, like that's like through the OSS guys and stuff like that, or
No,
like
just
what do you mean?
like-
just like him hitting up someone who skates and then
Okay.
them
And
probably
having the
look at
following,
them
like-
probably oh this guy looks cool blah blah blah
right.
and then he was like yeah you guys can come fucking scoot it and then we were the
Scoot
actually
it up, man.
we were actually the first scooter riders to go in that park so I felt pretty honored. It was tight.
Shout out to the North team. So after, and this was in St. Louis,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so after St. Louis, where'd you guys?
Kansas City.
Kansas City, KC. Yeah,
KC
but-
was the shit. I'm
We
being honest.
were so productive there.
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
for real.
Like,
That was probably one of the most
super productive.
productive places we were in.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And Badger did that hurricane on that famous spot.
Bro.
I don't know what the building is
That's
called.
the banger though of the
Yeah,
video.
of the day.
That rail's no joke. Dog.
It's like
It's high.
handrail,
It's high.
handrails here,
bro.
and then it's like an
We're talking-
extra thing. Like it's
We're
so
talking
nutty.
bar height plus some, and then it's not even like you say, it's not even like the real handrail. It's just
It's
an
the rail
added-
over the handrail.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
So
safety
crazy.
rail, and I don't know. It's hard to
Oh,
explain.
and I mean, and that blue rail, like in the van spinning away video. You've
Yeah,
probably seen
that rail
one.
was
That
the
one's an
shit, too.
infamous spot. But that's like
grungy, dog.
The one
that
you
landing.
53, no?
53.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was wild.
And like I don't know, that was at the point in the tour because like I boofed my ankle. Like that thing was a balloon, and I was
Facts.
like, I'm
Running.
here. It's probably the dumbest idea I've ever had to keep riding, but like.
Bro, you have to though. At that point, it's like
There's only
any
one
day
heat
that
wave tour.
feels like decent, just pushing through the pain.
Didn't even feel decent. Like, I slammed
balloon
multiple
ankles
times.
over here.
And every spot, me and this
Bro.
guy were sharing a bucket
Yeah.
full of ice.
Yeah.
Like,
Bucket of ice,
Well,
switching on and off. So
Anyone who's
funny.
ever like ridden long enough has probably had like that one clip or that one time where they were doing something and then they got broke off and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kept going. Like the one time I was with Marcus, there's a 6-flat-6 in Chattagee, and I gapped out to the bottom, but I ended up slamming like 3 or 4 times really, really hard.
just going a little too quick for that down.
Oh, it was one of those moments where I was like, man, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing here right now? My foot is killing me. But like,
Facts. I've been there.
Blake,
All
Blake,
worth it.
Blake was there. Marcus was there. We were set up. I was like, gonna keep going. And then the one time, I just fucking shing rolled away, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
we did it.
Yeah.
Once
So
that adrenaline kicks, you don't even feel it
Dude, but-
until about 20 minutes
20 minutes later, and I can remember I was in
Bro,
Marcus's
for
car,
real.
and all of a sudden my shoes were tight on
Yeah.
the right side, and I looked down, and my foot was just ballooned up. I had fractured my foot, and I didn't even know. Kept going, got the clip, and then for like 3 weeks I was dealing with that. But so it's kind of like the same thing. You boofed your ankle at the,
Dude, like,
Bro,
the
Mans
jam, but
was
there's only one
working.
tour, you know.
yeah,
so
like,
Bro,
I-
the front 3 to back 3, or was it back 3 to front 3?
yeah, that one was.
That one was on balloon ankles.
That was St. Louis. That one was bad.
That
That was the
St.
first
Louis?
day I
thought
started
that was-
riding again.
No,
I
that was
think.
KC.
Was it? I
That's
think it might have
KC.
been. Yeah, I don't know, but
That's definitely KC.
It
So
was-
you took a few days off though after the jam.
barely. Like I took like
Bro.
2, maybe 3 days off, and we were in the van, so we weren't doing much because we were driving. So I mean, that's fine. But
Yeah.
I
like-
remember the first spot you were riding was the Black Legend.
yeah, the black that was the same. Yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah,
So
But still,
KC,
like,
yeah.
dude, the back 3 to front 3 was a trek. It was like 20 tries of me in excruciating pain. Just like,
Yeah,
why
no.
am I doing this? But
Man was slamming. I was surprised
Oh, yeah?
he kept going. I remember watching
Kirk's a
from the
savage, man.
distance. He is,
Dude,
no,
I
for
wanted
real.
that trick for time, but I mean, front 3 to back 3, just symmetry is so nice, and yeah, I don't know. No, it was back 3, front 3, whatever. But yeah,
I can't
you get the
remember.
gist.
Both,
Yeah, you-
both direction.
Yeah. I'm not frontside natural, by the way, guys.
For anyone, that's a myth.
People were thinking that.
If that's a myth for anyone who didn't know.
It just likes to spin that way.
I might be now. Who knows? But
Kirk does
Yeah,
like to
right?
spin both ways.
Yeah.
oh,
I'm not
boy.
gonna sneak any other
Yeah.
jokes in there. Just spins both ways. That's it.
It's a dig.
All right. So where'd you guys head to after that?
After Kansas, it was
Where
straight
did we
to
go?
Denver.
Was it?
Yeah.
We drove for probably like 2 days
Dude,
then.
it was like
Literally
an
just
8-hour
two
drive
two
to
days of
Denver.
driving, no scooting
I think
whatsoever.
it was
I
eight
couldn't-
hours
Bro,
is from
I don't
Kansas
think
to
we
Denver.
scooted.
It was 8 hours from Kansas to Denver. We
Was
left
it?
that one day, and then yeah,
Okay.
we were out.
We're probably just
And then we got to Denver, and
Isaac
me and McRobbie
Miller.
had one day in Denver. My dad asked me one thing: just go get a picture in front of the mountains. We did not get to go to the mountains. By the
Well,
way.
Denver, you don't. When you drove the way we did, you don't
Oh,
drive
2 days, whatever.
like past the mountains.
yeah.
So we thought we were gonna go through the mountains, but no, you bypass the Rockies when you go that way.
Well, we could have the last day, but okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So we get to Denver. We pull up to Evolve, I think, right? Was that the first day or
Is that
second
the
day?
indoor one?
First day we pulled up.
I remember it was raining a lot.
Isaac housed us.
Yeah, Isaac Miller
housed
housed
Shout out to
all
the
him.
whole
the
team.
whole like 10.
And does he live with his
people.
parents over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't even see his parents the whole
No,
time.
know.
me and you were in the van.
you
not wrong.
guys slept in the
Yeah,
van
we slept
anyway,
in the
even
van.
though
Well,
it was
yeah,
the
you
house.
got to
Dude,
clear up the space.
There was a lot of people. There was a
Yeah.
lot of units.
Mad respect.
And bro, Isaac Miller's house is like
Nice.
fancied up. His
Oh,
mom
yeah.
likes to decorate. On the wall, there's not a clean space of wall. I swear to
no.
God.
Dang.
Like, and he's got a cool cat. What is his name? I got a picture of it, but
Yeah, we can
this
check
cat's
Insta.
tight. This cat's very tight.
Dang.
Yeah,
So you guys
so-
slept in the van anyway, just to liberate some space.
Yeah, you
That's
have
some,
to.
That's some
Whenever
trooper
we
stuff
stay
right
somewhere.
there.
That was
boys.
our spot. Like, from day one. We were
Bro,
in
the minute
van.
you don't sleep in the van, someone else is gonna try to like finesse you.
So that was your seat, and you guys had stamped it.
yeah, basically.
Your
That's
bed,
the
I
front
guess.
seat, yeah.
And wait, were you guys
No,
literally sleeping
I
in the
was trying
seats?
to go very back all the time.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
you were in the middle with the
Yeah.
with the ice bucket or
Yeah,
the
because
cooler.
I would put my foot up on the front seats,
yeah.
and then I would just sit on the middle bench seat, so like I could still like raise my ankle.
So you're sitting at like an angle on the seat,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
your feet were up on the.
It was not ergonomic.
And that's how you slept like every night.
Every night.
Bro, you got to
night.
keep those ankles elevated, you know? Rice.
Rest,
Rice constantly.
rest, ice compression, elevation. Yeah.
Constant.
Isaac housed us for that one night, and then the next day we went to Evolve, Rip Evolve. That
That's-
park is
that's
so
indoor,
fun.
yeah? Yeah.
That park is super fun. Like it had the box jumps and stuff. The one that Isaac worked at.
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, that one was wicked.
There was a lot
it
of
closed
homies.
down now, which sucks because I'd love to go ride there again, but it was super fun. And then the next day, me and McRobbie had to leave. We were gonna go see the
Nuh-uh.
mountains. Yeah, and then the van broke down.
Oh no.
Second time. We
Yeah,
didn't even
yeah.
talk about the first one.
Yeah, when
Don't worry
we
about the first one.
Oh, we skipped right over that.
Well-
Is it even a trip if the van doesn't break down?
bro broke down 3 times overall.
3 times in 2 months.
Yeah.
Were you guys forgetting the oil changes?
No,
No,
first time,
dude.
a
First
nut
time.
a nut broke
And
on
then-
the back wheel because man, there was way too much weight in that thing.
Yeah, I
Bro,
feel
it
you.
was
squatting. Squatting. Stance
And,
Nation type shit.
So that happened, and then the van broke down the day me
lug
and
nut
McRobbie were
broke.
leaving. Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah, okay.
And then something about just overheating, I think.
Bro, I think it was the alternator, honestly.
Yeah, something went.
I think we bought a new
the
alternator
last day
or
for me
battery.
and McRobbie because we had to go back for work. And then, so we were going to go see the mountains. Didn't get to see the mountains. We did get to see the auto source, though. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's up there.
Chilled at the auto source, but
And then me and
They're
McRobbie
curved.
just lifted or Ubered or something to
Yeah.
the
To the
airport. And
airport,
that was
yeah.
it because we had to work. You know, you got to pay for school. But then
Dog.
these guys kept going. So you can tell you the rest of
So
that.
from Denver on, how far into the trip were we at this point?
bro,
like a week, 2 weeks?
This
Like
was at least a month.
a month in, yeah.
For
Well, a month
me.
For you,
For me.
right? And
2
you had
weeks
been
for
2
these guys.
weeks.
They spent
2.5
2
weeks,
weeks, yeah. But for me, at this point, it was like a month. And, bro, I just remember my ankles were also boofed. I boofed mine in Chicago, but only one. Kirk fucking had 2 boofed ankles.
Yeah.
One was a heel and
Yeah.
one was I don't even know, man.
It was bad.
I
They
didn't
were
get
just-
him checked out.
I just
until
remember they
after,
were
so-
swollen and we needed ice.
Yeah.
You know?
Stat.
And where was the go-to spot to get the ice?
Oh, just your local.
Anywhere that
Sometimes
sells beer.
low key, yeah, anywhere that sells beer, but low key sometimes out of the superstores or the grocery stores, you're walking by casually and you see the ice on the outside. It's not locked. Quick swoop, peace. You know, it's just ice. You freeze it. It's
just
just
water.
it's just water.
water.
You're paying for the plastic bag at that point. But either way, don't do that.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Yeah, no one heard. It's just
I
it's
paid
just
for
ice.
my ice, Mom. I
Yeah,
promise.
no, I was the one. Yeah, either way, I just need ice. So that's the go-to to get ice.
All right, fair enough. Noted.
But you got to get the bucket.
Yeah,
you got to pay for the bucket.
The
The
Home
bucket.
Depot bucket.
Yeah,
Or
Home
the
Depot
Rona
bucket. Is
bucket.
it a metal bucket or plastic bucket?
It's
Plastic.
it's a plastic.
Plastic bucket.
We
Yeah.
had a
First-
few.
Basically, first thing you find.
It was
honestly.
either the beer cooler or just the
Yeah,
Rona
yeah.
bucket.
Facts,
The
the
Rona
beer cooler.
bucket was
Right.
good though, because you could rest your knee. Pro tip to anyone out there: make sure you get one of those.
Yeah. I don't know. You start to figure out little tricks and tips along with your
So you
rolled
guys-
ankles.
You guys
Yep.
kept going.
Yeah,
then
we were in.
After Denver, you went to.
After Denver, we went to Albuquerque, and we went to that. I don't know. Albuquerque has a million spots. The first thing I did in Albuquerque was roll my ankle again on the stupidest rail, like the biggest thing. I was just like,
Dude, that's the way it always goes.
I was just dicking around on, like, it was actually like a massive like double kink or whatever you want to call it, but I tried to 50
It's
it,
in the video.
and then yeah, it is in the video. It's where I'm screaming at the beginning,
Mm.
you know. But yeah, I rolled my ankle there, and then I couldn't ride, and then we went to the sickest spots ever that I couldn't ride at, so that was kind of a bummer.
Oh, that's always a bummer when you're watching the boys throw down and
But also, I
It
saw
hurt.
the coolest trick by Jackson go down. Was
You've
it
seen it.
board slide around the thing?
It was like a double
Hurricane.
kink, but it was angled, and the guy did board down flat, and then hurricane the last bit. But the curve is just so.
is it a
Yeah.
hurricane or
gnarly.
is it like a sugar technically? It'd be a hurricane,
No,
right?
he comes up board.
He comes
Yeah,
up
comes
board,
up board.
goes around
Hurricane.
the
And-
elbow.
Yeah, it goes like this, like outside. So you have to lean in, and then ding, whoops, and then he goes ding, and then hops up. And
Shut
yeah,
up.
it was like watching it in person was the gnarliest thing I could have witnessed. You know what I mean?
The
But either
best
way.
driver, the best
Yeah.
rider.
Shout out to fucking Jackson because he drove the whole time. This
I
fool.
thought Sneathan was driving.
No.
Sneathan doesn't even have a license, dog. Sneathan is like, dude, I couldn't imagine Sneathan behind a steering wheel, dog. He wouldn't know what to do.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that? Like, why couldn't he drive? He's
He
like-
couldn't, bro. He can't. I swear he can't figure it out. Bro, we made the first trip we ever took. We made this fool drive himself home because we all got dropped off in Calgary, and he has to drive 1 more hour north to go to his house, and he doesn't have a license, never drives, and we're like, hey, peace, dude. Like, good luck. And man had to drive himself home. And if you've ever met Sneathan, the man, trust me, he doesn't drive.
Well, shout out to Sneathan.
Shout out to Sneathan
Yeah.
for just hosting and doing everything
Kill it.
complicated and being stressed out 24/7. But either way, he doesn't drive. No,
Dude,
Jackson.
I can
drove.
tell you, anytime you've got like a company on your shoulders, I can see where he's coming from, being
Yeah.
stressed out all the time. It's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
no, trust me. He's like the mom. He's always trying
Big
to figure
shout
stuff
out to
out.
Steve.
Everyone asks Sneathan what we're doing, and he's like,
I don't
Shut
know, man.
I don't know what we're doing.
Albuquerque, whatever.
And then
It was
Albuquerque.
to Vegas.
Shout out to Bugs Bunny,
Did you
man.
go to Vegas?
Albuquerque to no, we didn't go to Vegas.
You went through the desert.
We went through the desert and
Arizona?
oh my god, yeah, we went through Arizona, but we just drove straight to SD.
Okay, and then you guys went back
And
to
then-
Seattle for the jam, right?
Yeah, we went up to Seattle for the jam, and then we went to the Portland jam, and those two were tight. And yeah, those two jams were awesome.
Lachlan's got 2 new photos in the newest transition zine, by
Yeah,
the way.
apparently.
Shout out transitions.
Never even knew.
And they
I
look
wanna go.
sick.
My
so-
mom ordered 3 magazines, so shout
out to
out,
Mom.
shout out mom for coughing those.
Yeah, so tour was great.
Yeah, no, it was.
Long
it
story
was-
short.
Long story short, tour was awesome.
Wouldn't have
Stressful.
met this guy either.
but great.
so-
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
no, I would.
First
That's the
time
first
I
time I
ever-
met him too.
Literally, first time I ever met Kirk was on that trip, which is so crazy for me to think about.
Well, it's like
And to meet all the Ontario boys, and then to meet all the Montreal boys for like that one day.
Yeah.
And then that's why I thought it was so sick to come back because I got to see everyone again.
yeah, it was cool. And like, like when you hit me up to crash up mine, I was like, well, I met him briefly, at the start of that tour, but I've known Kirk for a long time, and I consider him like family. So I was like,
Yeah.
if I let Lachlan stay at my house, is he gonna fuck shit up? He's like, nah, dude, Lachlan's cool. We got tight during the tour.
Yeah,
Like, if he stays, I'll stay. And I was like, well, if like
True.
that motivates you to be here, like,
Oh,
no
yeah.
stress, let's do that.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Yeah, it worked
Pretty
out.
much. I got off school on the 18th. The jam's the 20th.
Wow.
And I just
And you
came
just-
straight here, and I was like,
just
all right,
squatting
let's
at my
not worry
place.
about my life for now.
Yeah,
Let's just
facts.
chill and have a
Best
vacation
scenario.
in Montreal, which I couldn't ask for a better time, so it was really
That
good.
scenario.
Yeah, it's been super fun. We actually Lachlan, I don't know if Ethan had ever been to a show either, but we went to a comedy show like last night.
So fun.
And of course, classic us, who walked in about 6 minutes
Yeah,
late,
basically.
pull up in the house right away, shout, he goes, hey, everyone who's late, come to the front,
Right.
starts roasting us. And then, of course, me and Ethan both have Trynyty sweaters on, and he goes,
Matching
well, what's
sweaters.
Trynyty with 3 Ys? And then we managed to get roasted for riding scooters by the host of this comedy show. And it was
okay.
It was quite the time.
Saw it coming when we showed up 6 minutes late.
Yeah, we had it coming for sure.
But it's all for fun.
I'm the brains of the operation.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
You got a song about him, actually. Just one act.
Yeah, no, that was super fun. I'm glad you guys got
Dude,
to see that.
It's a good Montreal.
I'm glad you
experience.
took us. It was fun.
Yeah. The Comedy Nest.
Yeah, it was quite the
What a
time.
place.
Crazy. And then Lachlan beat me at ping pong.
That's right.
we're
And
not
if you've ever met me, you know that I shred at ping pong and I take it quite seriously.
Very serious.
And
Very.
I've been trying to stay calm, but
Yeah.
I'm still pretty agitated
We might
about the
have
fact that he
to-
beat me at ping pong.
Might have to go to a rematch. Got to find a local table.
Yeah.
One of the boys, maybe they have one.
That's cool. In Montreal, like some of the parks even have these marble style
facts.
tables with like the metal net.
That's
but
kind of tight. I've never seen that.
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
cool.
have that in Calgary, that's for sure.
I'm totally playing. It was a lot of fun, but I just want to say I'm surprised that you beat me, and it was dope. So I look
I knew
forward.
he was gonna
I
be
look forward
surprised.
to whether it's in China or here or
Yeah.
whatever. The next time we play ping pong,
We're playing again.
it's gonna be
We're
hella
playing
fun.
again.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna be the last time I see
No.
Cody.
It's
So,
good. It's good. I'll gladly lose to you at ping pong again. That
Sweet.
was hella fun.
Good. Glad.
Yeah. So Kirk, you're headed back on. Well, actually, you guys are both headed back on Thursday, and you'll have spent exactly day for day 2 weeks at my place, and you'll have done
Yep.
a week and a half.
Yeah.
So
some
you're
a little
headed
less.
to France on vacation.
Yeah, basically. I'm going to meet the lady in France. Go to Paris. Go to Amsterdam.
But you are bringing the scoots in that. You are
Of
bringing
course,
the
you have to.
trottinette.
It's half of me, so
I feel that.
it goes where I go at this point.
Yep. Yep. I feel
You know
that.
what I
Actually,
mean?
there's one time my parents, when we used to have a rider on QC Logan Mackin, and he had qualified for Worlds, and he was young. He was too young to go by himself, and his parents were trying to go with him, and he was like, I don't want to go to Worlds with my parents. Sorry to Logan's
Facts.
parents. It's not that
Yeah.
they're not cool. Logan's parents are actually super cool, but
It's
you know
just,
he didn't
it's the
want to.
circumstance.
Yeah, he didn't want to be the kid who was there with his parents, so he was
True.
like, maybe Cody could come with me because I was like
Right.
the team manager or whatever. And sure enough, that's what happened. And my parents were like, well, you try not to spend your whole time while you're in Barcelona on your scooter. Try to take it in. And what they didn't understand is like, if I go somewhere and I don't have it with me, I can't take everything in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like for us,
No, for real.
it's like it's not the same thing
It's
if
like
you don't
half
have it
of
with
going
you.
somewhere
Dude,
is like to
it's
ride
like-
a spot there.
It's like
Exactly.
going on a school trip and everyone's like looking at the museum. You're like, yo, that hubba.
Yeah,
is
no.
like
Like
butter.
the only thing you care about at the museum is what's on the outside of the museum. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You go to all these famous museums and you're like, yeah, I've been there. They're like, oh, what'd you see? No, nothing.
Nothing,
There's
but
a
the hub out
sweet-
front is
yeah,
dope,
the
dude.
hub out
It's
front.
in my maps. The pin is there.
I've got a pin on my phone for that museum.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah.
that's gonna be it.
So I mean,
That's the thing.
anyone who doesn't like view the world with that same perspective that we have, you might not get it. But I remember trying to explain that to my parents, and I just kind of,
Yeah.
I didn't give up. But I was like, oh, they just
No.
don't get it. Like they think like you're gonna miss out
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you don't have your scooter.
Right,
but for
right.
us, we're gonna miss out if we don't have it.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
100%. I think my mom
Big
gets
time.
it at this point. I'm always like,
Yeah.
I'm always joking around, like, tell my friends and parents, like, oh, look at that spot. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you see that?
You
Is
see
it
that? It's,
real?
like, sweet.
They're
Just
like-
taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
They always just give me
I remember at one
Whatever.
point when I was at university, I had my buddy Pierce and his girl. They used to like go for walks and whatever. And at
Yeah.
one point, they'd gone over to Gatineau, and then my phone starts blowing up, and they're just sending me pictures of these like A-frame ledges that are perfectly waxed. Like, this is waxed, right? And I was like, yeah, no way. And then I was
Nice.
so stoked that they took the time
Yeah.
out of the day because they knew that I would appreciate what they were
Mhm.
sending me. And sure
Yeah.
enough, like I
Yeah.
think 2 weeks later, we went and rode that spot. So
That's tight.
shout out to
That's
them.
tight.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I've like trained my girlfriend to see like spots now, and she's like, "Is this a spot?" I'm like, yes, that's a spot.
That's a spot, 10 points.
10 points.
Is this grunge?
Like,
Needs more broken glass.
yeah, it's more broken glass.
All right. So you're headed to France and you're headed back to school.
No, I'm headed back to
Oakland.
Newmarket. Yeah, Oakland. I
Oakville.
wish.
What's
No, I'm
it
headed
called?
back to Newmarket, hometown. Work for the summer. Hopefully ride as much as I can, and then one more year of school, and then we'll see what happens.
Go from there. And we will see you back in Montreal this summer, though.
Oh yeah,
100%.
that's the plan.
How many years have you went to school?
4 now. Well, this will be my 4th coming up on.
Holy.
Yeah.
So right out of school you went?
Yeah.
Right out of high school, yeah.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Kirkus is an impressive individual.
He is. No, he's
Thanks, guys.
no, 100%. I wish I was on top of shit like he is.
So when you get back from France, is there like another North tour this summer? Or do you have any
Uh,
big plans for the?
I don't know. There
the year?
probably might be, but I'm really
Probably
I think
might.
for the next like couple of years, I just want to go do like trips like this.
Yeah.
Where
Dude,
I come meet like one
productive.
friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
As much as I love seeing everybody and all the time in a big van, I don't know. I've done it quite a few times now, and
It's pretty stressful and pretty
I definitely
chaotic.
like
Yeah.
just like coming to a homie's house like yours and crashing with a buddy,
Dude,
and then going out whenever
Yeah.
we can. It just
how productive we were this like
yeah.
2 weeks.
It really
is
shows
ridiculous.
how much more easy it is.
Yep.
You know, like I hate pulling up to a Walmart and waiting an hour for
Yeah.
everyone
To go
you
get all
know
their
what
stuff.
I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
I
dude.
can't.
But
I don't
like, I don't know. It's been like in a week
It's
and a
fun.
half, we got like almost 10 minutes of footage.
Yeah, like,
so,
Yeah.
like
that's
for
probably
the
the
video,
most productive I've been in a long
be on the
time.
lookout. It'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be what, Grunge Montreal or something like that.
We'll figure it
It'll
out.
be
fine
out.
with it.
I bet this. I bet it'll be either be out or
A
about to
good
be
one.
out when this podcast drops. So we'll put the
Yeah,
links.
I can imagine.
We'll put all the links in the bottom for the Heatwave tour, which we've been talking about, the Jam
Yeah,
video, and then of
facts.
course the Grunge Montreal video.
Mhm.
Take the time to watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, you
'cause-
should, because they're way better than.
Well, speaking of
wasting a minute.
YouTube videos and Instagram, like what's the weirdest thing you guys think is going on in like the world of scooter riding right now?
Weirdest thing?
The
I
weirdest
think-
thing.
I mean, how long have you been riding, Cody?
Oof, that's a weird question, man. Like,
Sorry.
I'm 25, and I started when I was about 13, so at least 12 years, maybe
12
13.
years?
So I'm 26 this year,
What
yeah,
are
so
you
about
at?
13 years.
What are you
Since
at?
I was 12, so like 8.
8? I think I'm at like 10 now.
Impressive.
Sounds
10
about
or
right.
11. Yeah, whatever Jacob's at, like subtract like 8 months, whatever.
You started
No.
you started that close to Jake?
Technically, but well, that's like kick scooter. Jake was already
Okay.
up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so yeah, that happened. But I think going from like comparatively to when we all just made videos and everyone watched everyone's YouTube videos. Like when I met this guy, he was like, "Yo, we used to watch like the Ontario scenes videos."
Yeah.
Yeah, when
like,
I heard that, I was like, whoa.
They,
And
you
it's
guys
crazy,
were
right?
the
But
scene in Canada.
I
so-
just on that
Crazy.
topic, I hate how much the attention span has dropped, and everyone just wants to watch like 2
Insta vids
seconds
all
of
day, yeah.
Instagram
Mhm.
and scroll through, give it the double tap, and
Yeah, you
leave.
definitely-
Like, man,
I feel like people gotta just
you got to take in what someone's working for, and I don't think
Yeah.
that's given the credit it deserves sometimes.
No, it's not.
100%, yeah.
I know it's easier, and it's
way
like
too
way
easy.
easier to post to Instagram
way
constantly,
too
but
easy.
I don't know, man.
But
Like,
half the shit people are
part
doing.
of me died when like
Yeah.
scooter edits stopped getting the love they deserve. Like
The day edit turned into an Instagram edit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
literally.
Very
Remember,
well put. That's
remember
very well
those
yeah.
day edits?
Yeah.
Me and my boys used to film
And
day
they were
edits
sick.
all the
put. I think
time.
my last real video was a day edit. No,
Yeah.
I had like one short thing, but at one point I had filmed a day
That's
edit
what I'm
with
saying.
Cody Remaster. But back then, like, I don't know.
Mhm.
Even that is still more effort than like an instant.
Oh.
We had driven to 2 parks. I remember
Yeah.
like I got worked trying to
Yeah.
flare because I'm not very good at
That's what I'm
those.
saying. There's so much more work into like real videos like that
Man,
Yeah.
than
Putting-
just getting Kirk to hold my phone for me.
Well, I do this trick I just did that we're gonna refilm one more time. Yeah.
That's right.
like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like having those videos filmed and like riding with your friends, like you grow other skills too. Like there's no reason that I would be where I'm at school if it wasn't for scootering, right? Like
Yep.
if anyone doesn't know, I'm in a film program. You can roast me if you want, but I enjoy it.
Dude, you're
But,
not gonna get roasted. I have a snow resort operations diploma, and the
Exactly.
only reason I have a snow resort operations diploma is because there's no scooter industry
Yeah.
diploma. Like,
And I'm not on any direction
Yeah.
to get any diploma. So.
Yeah, there's so many other skills that are built just with that, like having fun with your friends, but it turns into so much more. So I think people should really put more eggs into those baskets and like
And no one knows how to film anymore because they
because
just
they just
don't
know how
know.
to film on their
Just-
phone. That's
Yeah,
it.
they only
let
know
me
how to,
film
like-
those feet.
Yeah, like how I tell Kirk when
Sorry.
he films my Instagram videos, I'm like, hey, just get the feet. He's
Just
like,
get the
what?
feet.
What do you mean?
Zoom in, zoom out.
I'm like, no,
Zoom
dude,
out.
trust me.
Trust the process.
This is what they're looking for.
This is the trendy stuff. Don't tilt your phone on the side. Pick
Yeah.
it up, zoom in on the feet,
Yeah,
and you'll be
exactly.
golden.
I don't know. Long story short, film videos with your friends, it becomes way
Facts.
more of a memory than
It
just
does.
scrolling through an Instagram feed
does.
for a video you forgot about. I mean,
Yeah.
That's why I'm hyped on this video we're doing.
dude, it's gonna be fun.
It's been like a long time since I got out with a homie and we just go film strictly.
productive.
Like
Like,
you
on his
guys
camera,
are here
pull out the
week and
camera.
a half in Montreal with no
Yeah.
objective other than
That's what I'm
ride as
saying.
much as possible.
I want to make it an annual thing.
Hop off the metro, ride 2 blocks, spot.
A spot. Montreal is awesome. You guys should all come to Montreal. There's spots every block.
Everyone can come to Montreal, but not everyone can crash at my pad.
That's right.
Because
That's right. You just,
it's very
the
small.
Airbnbs are cheap though. You can find a nice one. I stayed in one with Zach. Shout out to Zach for buying that Airbnb for all the boys. We had like 6 looks in an Airbnb. Cost cheap. Everyone's paying like $10.
Boom.
What can you do? Like, come
Boom,
on.
boom, boom.
It's not bad at all.
That's that Montreal grind, man.
It is. It's cheap here.
I mean, at some point, me and Ethan are gonna have to come to Calgary. I told you.
That
how
would be
much,
tight, actually. I never think of that. Like,
I'd
if
do
people actually came to Calgary, maybe it would be cool.
Well, I'm trying to come in the winter.
Train there, even, dude. Like, it's
The
ridiculous.
Via Rail.
This guy's trying to go in the winter. I'm not.
Yeah, and if you come in the winter, I'll come snowboarding.
Dude,
with
I'll
you.
take it.
I
We'll go
slam
shred some
every
band.
You know how much
Yeah.
fun that would be?
Man, it'd
If
be
you came in the
amazing. I'll
winter?
bring a snow scooter too. I've got a bunch of erratics.
I've never tried that. But
Dude,
me
they are scary. They're dangerous.
They
and they are
seem scary.
very fun,
I
dude.
saw Lloyd's video. Fucking Floyd.
Yeah, we're not
Cut
talking
the-
about that.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
back
For anyone who
open.
doesn't know, Lloyd spent a month in Europe in February, and he was riding snow scooters with Benji Friant in the Alps.
It's
And
dangerous.
I didn't. I have, like I said, I have a snow resort operations diploma. I didn't know that it's like 0 degrees in the Alps, and it was that warm. So this fool's riding with no shirt, and he ends up doing a big old double whip over a jump. Cruises on down. There's this like kind of boob style hip thing, and he kind of just
Know what it
airs
was.
over it, slips out, and then gets scalped.
Didn't it land
open.
on his back or something?
Dude,
Did
it
he
landed
land
So
on
so
it?
so he
I
the
don't-
snow scooter fell, and I think he fell onto the snow scooter,
It
and
was-
the edge was so sharp that it
Dude,
cut him, and like
buddy,
he was in a foreign country, and he
Jack
literally
being
got
the Lloyd-
surgery.
Lloyd being the Jack guy is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got that mixed up. He walks up the hill, shirt off,
Yeah, shirt off.
turns around, turns to Benji. He's like, "Is it bad?"
Is it bad?
Looks like he just got macheted,
Bro, it looks like
So
a proper
gnarly.
incision.
Straight out of some Rambo movie shit. Like,
You know? Straight up
it looked like
incision.
a scalpel had been just
Yeah.
drawn
Yeah,
down to go fix stuff. So
exactly.
he ended up like, I guess he whipped down, and then he went to one hospital, and they're like, "No, you need surgery. You're gonna have to
Bro,
go to another
you
hospital.
need surgery. For
We can't
sure.
stitch that up with our little kit we've got here. No,
No,
no, no.
no.
This is some serious shit. This is some Grey's Anatomy about to get surgery. Like, so then he ended up getting it fixed. But I can't imagine being out of country having to deal with a gash.
Yeah,
that big.
right?
Yeah.
I've never been that injured out of country where I had to go to a hospital.
Yeah.
knock on wood. man.
Everyone's on it right now.
My only ambulance ride was in San Diego.
See, that's what I mean. Like, what are the odds? What are the odds of that?
Sorry, Kirk.
What'd you
The-
do in San Diego?
Man, I don't know how detailed I can get into the story, but let's just say we were partying hard. There were bottles thrown.
Right.
And at some point, we were crossing the road, and it's kind of slightly downhill. And my dumbass was talking to my buddy Marcus, who you guys have met.
Yeah.
And we're crossing,
Marcus.
and I was
You
like
met
talking to him,
Marcus, yeah.
talking to him, not paying attention. I hit the median in the middle,
Right.
like
yeah,
full speed, hands on the bars, and just I went from talking to on the ground, feet like over my head.
Not expected.
Like stood back up, and I was a lot intoxicated, so I couldn't gauge my
Right.
pain. But I was like, "Is it bad? Is it bad?" He's like, "Dude, your lip is like open." And it's like,
No way.
yeah, it was in 2 pieces. So I call my mom because I'm on her insurance. I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I wasn't going to get screwed with like well, she said you should be good in theory. You should be good.
Yeah,
So shout out to my mom's insurance because back then I was still at school.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was under her insurance, and the insurance covered the ambulance ride. But we walk up to, I think it was like this corner store, this gas station, and we called 911 from there. First responders, which is whoever can get there first, boom, fire truck pulls up. And I was like, oh, God, this is gonna make, it's like some big scene. And then like 10 minutes later, the ambulance pulls up, and all I keep asking is like, is my nose broken? Does my nose look broken? And that's like the one time I've ever had a nosebleed was when I smashed my
Was it
face in San
broken?
Diego. My nose wasn't broken.
was
No,
good?
my nose ended up being okay.
Okay.
I got like 5 stitches like right here.
Right.
That's the moneymaker, right? That's
Yeah.
why you didn't want your nose to be broken.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. yeah, my
Money
nose is my most.
Best
my nose
feature.
is my best feature. Yeah. So yeah, dude, my only ambulance ride in my entire life was in San Diego
Damn.
because I got a little too toasted and forgot to watch where I was going and
Bro, I'd be scared.
slammed.
That's
And
for
that
sure.
was the year that SD got canceled because of rain. But guess what? There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
no rain the entire time we were there.
What?
Well, so like they canceled it because it was raining, and I guess they were saying like at the park, they're like I think it's a YMCA park.
Like,
Yeah, Claremont.
Yeah,
Claremont?
So at Claremont, they were saying, so the ramps are going to be so soaked with water that they'll be waterlogged and we still can't ride them or whatever.
What?
So, so me and
Yeah,
Marcus
exactly.
flew to San Diego for SD, and then SD got canceled.
damn.
And then
They
I missed.
canceled it like days
They
before?
canceled. So our flights were booked, and they canceled it like maybe a week before, not even.
What?
Yeah,
So
I
you
just-
still went, though.
Oh, so we still went because the flights were booked, and
Exactly.
we're like, man, we're going.
Fuck it.
And then I missed, so I slammed, got my face stitched together, and the next day I was like, I'm not going outside. I just chilled in our little hotel room, and Marcus went to the Scooter Farm ride day and met Tanner
Yeah.
Fox and
Fair
a bunch of people.
Fair enough. It's a
Yeah,
good
we're
thing.
not getting on that topic.
No, we'll steer clear of that.
Shout out Tanner Fox.
Claremont things. I met Tanner Fox once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Tanner
too.
before he was a vlogger
He beat me by 0.1 points.
at the in Vegas.
Really?
That's-
We're not talking
No
about
way.
that. That's my greatest letdown.
Yeah,
But
probably.
you beat a bunch of dope people
Probably.
that day, man. That was when Kirk went to Las Vegas for the ISA North American qualifiers or whatever that thing's called.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite the time. We met a lot of people that weekend, dude.
Mom came out too.
Damn.
Shout out to mums.
I went
Shout out to my
to
mom.
I went to an ISA
And my
once.
dad. Why not?
Did you compete?
Yeah. I went to the Conquitlam qualifier.
Coquitlam, yeah.
Yeah, there was 10 pros. Top 10 went to what's the park
I
that
mean, the North American finals. It's either
Branson Smith and Ryan
Yeah,
go to?
I know which one you're talking. Is the one who was at last year? The one with the
Chino.
big, the big
Chino,
that's
yeah.
Chino, big
so
Chino, yeah.
top 10 from Conquitlam go to Chino for that
Yeah.
one. So my first run, I didn't wear a helmet because I was like, "Pff, I don't need it. And it was really good.
Did
It was really good.
because of that?
And they didn't count it because I didn't wear my helmet.
Oh man.
Yeah,
So did
so
you get to
there
rerun
was-
your first one? Your
no,
first
there
one
was
is
2
just
runs.
a scratch.
Yeah, it was a scratch, but there
Aw,
was 2
man.
runs, right? So I just put my helmet
Threw
off
the bucky
second
on, yeah.
one, and then I came in 10th. And then
Was your second run worse than your first run?
Yeah, the second
that's
run
brutal.
was worse, but the first one I was proud of. So
Blame it on the helmet.
In theory, I didn't really care. It was all about just doing whatever, and you know what I mean. Either way, I came in 10th, and I was like, I called up Ethan that day for like a kind of a joke thing. I was like, "Yo, dude, I qualified. Like, you should send me to Claremont so I can."
I'm trying to throw
I can
down.
compete."
to Chino, dude.
And
Send me to
he's-
Chino.
We ended up. He fucking sent me. Me and Ethan went to Chino, and then not to brag, but I think it was 2 years ago. But I qualified 24th in North America. So
Shout out to Lachlan, ranked number
You know what I
24
mean?
North America.
it wasn't
Freestyle
bad.
scooter
It wasn't
rider.
bad. I was gonna put it in my bio, but thought that'd be cheesy.
24th in North America.
Can we be
No
honest?
big
Is there
deal.
anything worse
No
than
big
that,
deal.
man? Like fucking
No, there's not.
47th.
Well, I
in
mean, 25th
Australia.
is worse, but
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all things to throw in your
Yeah,
bio. Like,
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
you have to update it every year anyway.
let people do what they want.
Yeah. I thought it would be funny. That's why.
Just
Oh,
film
man.
actual videos.
Exactly. Please. Please. Even if you're at the park, you can film a video.
What else we got?
Well, I mean, one thing I just want to touch on Lachlan's signature deck is the Le Gauch deck.
Mm-hmm.
Your last name is Gauchier.
Gauchier. That's a cool way to say it. That was probably proper.
What's
way
the
to say
right
it.
way to say it? I'll
Is
confirm
it?
that with you.
Can
Yeah,
you say it again for me?
Gautier.
Gautier?
Lachlan is pretty English. I don't think you could say it in
Lachlan,
French,
yeah,
but-
it's. I think it's Scottish, honestly. Scottisher.
So where does the Le Gauch come from?
Well, shout out to Braden Dunn. If you ever watch this video, he played hockey back in the day. He was my homie in grade 8, but he used to call me. I don't know. He was just like one of those guys who would always like, mess with names, like how I kind of do nowadays. But he's like Gauche. My name's Lachlan Gauchier. That was. It's Lachlan Gauchier. He was like, took out, so just L.A. and then Gauche, just like both names, and then he transformed it to Le Gauche, and then he called me that for like the whole grade 8 career, and then Instagram like came out around then, I think.
When you were in grade 8?
Maybe it was like before.
Sounds
I don't know.
Sounds about right.
You know what I mean? I was in grade 8. Either way,
Yeah.
fucking got on the app, typed in Le Gauche, never changed
Just
it.
stuck.
That was history.
Literally, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so
Go left.
you since 2000 whatever have had the same Instagram name. How many times have you changed your Instagram name?
A few.
A few.
I don't.
So at first it was what was I think it was
Young
the name's
Duckling?
Ethan was the first one.
That was the name's Young Duckling.
But it was THA. All right, get
Oh,
that
the
right.
name's Ethan.
The name's Ethan. It's got a certain.
You got a ring.
You got
It's got a
ring to it.
terrible ring to
And then
it.
it ran to Name's Young Duckling, which is a nickname that Cam Crook gave me when I was sitting in a river with a bunch of ducks while we were
Harsh.
riding street one day.
Okay, so that's where that comes
That's
from.
where
I didn't
Name's
know
Young
that. That's
Duckling comes
interesting.
from. There's a
Okay,
photo
cool.
on my Insta somewhere there. And then
Way down there.
way down there. And then it went to Ethan Kirk _ because why not? And then I got bored of my actual name, so I switched it to Deputy Bull.
Deputy cool.
Wasn't it something else before it was deputy though?
Oh yeah.
Bull Commander.
Bull
It
Commander.
was Bull Commander for a while.
Yeah.
That one's tight.
Bull Commander
I
was
remember you
hard.
as Bull Commander.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I decided to switch it because why not? So
And then Click came in.
yeah, dude, we're not talking about that one.
Oh man, so anyone who doesn't know, Josh, aka
You
Josh
wanna play the
Tapscott,
game?
aka Clit. Oh no, we're gonna play the game. We're gonna play
Yeah.
the game right now. So
What?
anyone who doesn't know, if you drink a 6-pack, you put both of your wrists into the 6-pack and then you pull.
2, 1.
And then whoever has has it left on their wrist has to wear it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's fair though, because last time we played this, Lachlan lost just a few days ago.
He did.
So if there's any clips of Ethan in this video they've been talking about, the
Yeah,
NTL Grunge video, that he's got that on his wrist,
we should get B-roll.
you know that it's from when we
It was
did this
tonight.
podcast.
to make sure. we film it.
Oh man,
Oh gosh.
what a time!
Yeah, dude.
Well, this has been pretty fun. I think it's probably about time to wrap things up so these dudes can get back to cruising their scootsy nets,
Quick.
their petits, their whatever you want to call them in the streets. Shout out to Trynyty for bringing everyone here for the jam. Shout out to QC Scooters for getting this whole thing going. Shout out to North for sending Lachlan out here. Any shout outs you guys want to sneak in before we call it a wrap?
You go first, dog.
Jacob Piercy for picking me up from the airport.
Shout out to Jake.
I'm just gonna shout out for this trip. Jacob Piercy, we got Zach Fleming for the Airbnb. Hesse showed up just to chill.
Shout out to Hezzy.
Shout out to Hesse for coming out. That was awesome. Shout out to Kirk and Cody and Mike Beer and Benji and Loverboy Official and
That's Clovis.
Clit and Jordan and anyone else I hung out with. I think that's it.
Ethan.
Dude, I'm gonna probably burn some bridges with this one. All right. Mitch Smith, Mitch Trevor, Cam Crook, Cameron McRobbie, Jacob Pearson, Cody Lacroix, Trynyty for always hooking me up, supporting me, doing everything. North. I think that's about it. Mom and Dad, I love you. Bye.
Hell yeah. Well,
Also
yeah.
love you guys.
Thanks for tuning in, boys. Thanks for being here. I don't know if we'll
Thank
get the
you.
chance to do this again, us three, but
Yo, and
Cheers.
shout out
I
to
hope
these two lokes over
yeah,
here.
shout out
thank
to
you
the
guys.
shout out to the dudes behind the scenes
For
making this possible.
listening to our rambling.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking about scooters and this and that. They're probably
really-
just completely lost,
Have
but
they been listening this whole time?
yeah, the entire
yeah.
time you have to, man. That's the way it
Okay.
goes.
Tight.
All right, this is going to conclude episode number 2 of the podcast. Thanks for tuning
yeah.
in. We'll see you guys on the next one.
God bless y'all.
Cheers.
Love y'all.
Hell yeah.